Good evening, everybody, again. Thank you very much for joining us in our webinar today on the 7 secrets of digital marketing. So I want to start with saying there's no going back now. So we all know that, right? So if you think that we're going to go back to pre March 17th, it's not going to happen. So let's finally admit it that the virus is not going anywhere soon. And let's get ready for an all new way of doing business with COVID-19 and after COVID-19. I'm sure you all agree because we have sat around for 4 months thinking that, okay, the virus is going to come under control. So there's no way. It doesn't look like it's happening in the near future. So business has to go on. And I'm sure a lot of you are entrepreneurs here as well as heading marketing functions. So you all know that the show has to go on. So before we begin, I want to start with a little background. So so this entire session is going to be broken up into 3 parts. Okay, I'm going to give you a little introduction. So before we jump into the 7 secrets, I also want to know where all of you are in your digital journey. Yeah, so based on that, I'll also kind of modify it as required. So what were the pre-COVID and what's going to be the post-COVID marketing tools? Yeah, pre-COVID, we had trade shows, we had brochures, we had leaflets, we had print ads in trade magazines, we had direct mailers, and we had calls. I mean, we used to call our customers, right? Post-COVID, webinars, e-catalogs, although I'm not saying that everything what I'm showing in post-COVID was not there in pre-COVID, but definitely in post-COVID, this is going to be the new normal, right? E-catalogs, e-mailers, post and content on Facebook and LinkedIn, mailers, SMS, WhatsApp for business, etc. And also instead of calls, we can do IVR, WhatsApp, Zoom calls, Google Teams, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams, you name it, we have it. And of course, there are other, 1 minute, just a minute, guys. So, and of course, there are other pressing challenges. Like, for example, a lot of entrepreneurs may be saying, my product is ready for launch. How do I proceed in these COVID-19 times? I think that's a real worry area. How do I reach my customer? Should I spend on marketing at all? Isn't that a multi-million-dollar question, which you are all thinking? I mean, who's going to buy at this time? When is the right time to start? So even if I spend on marketing, my customer cannot visit my factory for a touch and feel experience to meet the team and see the product. So factory, office, whatever the case may be, since this is by and large tailoring it to B2B, that's the reason I said factory, but of course it could be office or whatever other setup you have. And there is, however, one happy scenario, which could be that your product, which is ready now, let's say you've been developing it for the last 1 year, it's a perfect fit for post-COVID or in the COVID times, and it actually brings an efficiency to various processes. So then, of course, you need to launch it right now, right? So, but with all these constraints, new customers are still looking for you in new markets. Like, for example, let's say we are a digital marketing agency, branding and digital marketing agency, and we were providing one kind of service. But right now, people may want a completely different kind of services, which could be purely how to take them online, right? I mean, there may be no other business other than online. So if a company isn't present, isn't visible in the digital space, there is no business. So basically, what we're trying to say is that we have to roll with the punches. Yeah. So the question is, are you visible to them? So what I'd like to say is, before we go any further, I'd like to take a small, very quick, we'll do a quick poll because I want to see which company is where in the entire digital journey. So please go to your, what you can do is you can do 2 things. One is you can go to the chat, and on the chat, there's a link. Just press on the link and you can go directly to slido.com, or you can open your browser, go to Slido, add hashtag 55403 as the event code to participate in the poll. Quickly do it. If you cannot participate in the poll, it's fine. No sweat. You can do it later. But if you can do it, that'll be great because you can have many, many takeaways from this webinar, and it'll be very good for me to add value to you all. So kindly do it, and then we proceed further. We'll just take 2 minutes. If it's going to take longer than 2 minutes, and we just proceed. Yeah. So Yuvan, I'll read it to you. Where's your company in its digital journey? Doing digital and need to go to the next level? Tried digital but not successfully and don't understand medium fully? Last is never tried digital and still believe in traditional. So quickly, if you all can poll. Go to Slido or go to your chat. Brilliant. I was exact. I mean, you won't believe it, guys. I was predicting this exact score that 75% would be already doing digital and need to go to the next level. Okay, so that's great because then we shall. Sorry. Okay. Based on this, we'll say that there are three kinds of people here. So one is the leader. So the leader is, I guess all of you are leaders, at least most of you, 75%. That's, you want to get consistent leads. So I'll take the balance 25% to what is what when I'm talking about the 7 secrets. But I want to quickly establish all these things before we actually go to the main topic. So the 75%, they want to get consistent leads. They want to nurture the leads. They want to build and leverage content. They want to use digital to announce, augment, engage, introduce, build conversations with the potential and their existing client base. And in a nutshell, they want to crank up digital. And that's the reason why you guys are here today for this webinar. So I've just quickly classified all my audience as per this, so you can decide where you are. The performer. So the performer, he gets more leads than what he's able to handle. Content is being posted, but not much traction. So decide whether are you in this space, and then you can decide what are the takeaways for you in the 7 secrets. Yeah. The aspirer. So this is probably the balanced 25% who's still not got a hang of digital. So here, these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Are you present on any digital platform? It could be Facebook, it could be Instagram. I'm not talking about it for your business, even for your own personal use. A good idea is for you to start somewhere. Yeah. So I'm definitely tailoring my entire webinar for the 75%, but I just want to ensure that you also have some key takeaways from this. Yeah. Are you present on any platforms where your relevant customers are present? So you can try to be there. Do you post regularly on LinkedIn, for example? Because I'm talking about LinkedIn in particular because it's B2B. And are you getting leads, and are you nurturing your leads? So whatever leads you're getting. So what is digital marketing today? It's actually all about building relevant content. We all know about the platforms, and we'll also go into detail about the platforms, but mainly it's to build relevant content. So once you build the relevant content, then what happens? You have to distribute the content. So there has to be a reach for your content, right? Create engagement so audience can see updates on your page regularly. So you have to post as often as you can, and then we'll also tell you what are the kind of things you can post. You should also check that would they like to consider you as a potential partner to do business with? Like, for example, when tomorrow people are searching for you, what do? They come to your website, they come to your page, they'll come to all your social handles, and they'll see what is the kind of content you're posting, what's the kind of products and services you're offering, what's your company culture. So are you showcasing all that? So if we have all this, and voila, you are in the consideration set. And when we say, what do we mean by consideration set? You are in the consideration set for a customer to choose you to do business. So a persistent question you're asking yourself, I'm sure in the last 4 months, is, would it not be foolish to spend money now? I mean, who in their right minds is going to spend money right now? So I would say, yes, you'd be very, very foolish to spend money if you're buying a private jet, which I'm sure none of you are considering at this point, because considering there's nowhere to go. So this is the best time to market your product, company, or service. So beg, borrow, or steal, guys, but be visible right now. Why is it the best time? There are fewer people advertising. I mean, a lot of people are thinking just like this, right? I mean, this is not the right time. Let me wait till maybe September, October, when the virus goes away, when the lockdowns are less. But I'm saying start now. At least, building content is a huge process. It can't be done overnight. And don't expect any partner to build content overnight. Agencies have more time to work on your brand because a lot of them are sitting idle. So this is a very good time for you to build content and, engage an agency. People are looking for solutions during the pandemic as well. It's just that the solutions may be different from pre-COVID times, which I explained to you right in the beginning, that the solutions are no longer, most of the solutions will not be the solutions pre-March 17. These are going to be different solutions. So the whole game is you've got to roll with the punches. I mean, we've got to be there where the market is, right? I mean, there's no point in sitting and crying how well I was doing in the last financial year. What are you today is what's relevant. There are always takers for good products and services which will improve the life of the customer. I mean, you can look at yourself as just a regular customer. I'm sure you're consuming a lot of products and services. Okay, so then we go to when you don't advertise and your competitor does, and he shows up in all the digital channels and you don't, what happens? So these are some quick examples. These are some random examples just to show you how your competitors may be coming up. Yeah. This is an ad by Mitsubishi Electric, and they are advertising right through the pandemic as well. I mean, I keep seeing their ads very regularly across the internet channels. Very clean, neat work. Atlas Copco, this is one of our clients. These guys are always there. And see, these are very simple, clean. What's very important in digital is keep it clean, simple, have the inquire now or whatever the call to action very, very clear, have the company logo and say what it is upfront. Yeah, don't try to have very layered communication. Try to keep it direct. This is Adobe, of course. You'd all have seen it. Everything is here right up front. Very, very attractive. It says the price also. Join now. Look, all the call to actions. Join me. This is another. Okay, these are some other B2B, how you can, just no more without anything else. Just have, and obviously there will be post copies. So some places you may find that there's no company logo. That's because these are all part of post, whether it's post copy, and also it's on the company page. So the logo, etc. is there. These are some, regular branding ads, which you can repurpose for social, very interestingly. So I'll quickly run you through a video. What these are things you can do, very simple stuff. This is for an IT company. Some more. I'm just quickly going to take you through it just to show you. And these are some blogs and how you can write it very, and that's content. Again, I'll come to all that. Yeah. So this is a 360-degree approach is required. Mobile first website. I'll explain that also going forward. Content marketing, social media, videos, performance marketing, webinars, e-catalogs, online PR, WhatsApp for business, blogs, ORM. Yeah. Organization, reputation management. So before we start divulging the 7 secrets, I would tell all of you to sit up, pay attention, take a screenshot, because taking notes now is passé. That's all pre-COVID times. So right now, look at taking a screenshot if you want to take some things down. So this entire webinar, I'm going to be giving out a lot of pro tips. So take note of those pro tips. Yeah, start digital with a clear objective. That is what you want to achieve. So many times, we go to clients and they're not clear. I mean, everybody says, okay, everybody's on the digital bandwagon. So start digital with a clear objective. That is, what do you want to achieve? Yeah. What do you want to achieve? Is it leads? Is it business? Is it visibility? Is it good press? I mean, it could be many, many, many things. So now that you'll have come so far, if you stay on till the end, I'm going to give you a surprise giveaway and a bonus takeaway. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, sit down and listen to the 7 secrets of digital marketing. So secret 1 is be visible. So marketing is all about that anyway, right? That is to be visible. So first, let's begin with the basics. Do you have an attractive website which opens on the mobile phone? This sounds so basic, guys, but let me tell you, there are tons of companies who we go to, big companies, 100 crore plus companies, they still have websites which don't open properly, or it's unreadable on the mobile. And if you go to see today, the stats say that 75%, but trust me, 99% people open websites and any kind of information, they look at it on their smartphone. So the question is your website visible to them? And if you cannot find the information upfront, see, earlier days when 10 years ago, when, websites and everything was new, people would have all the time to browse through it. Today, you've got to look at hundreds of content pieces on the net. So it's very important that try to bring all your information upfront, show your products and services, show whatever you think. I mean, do a little design thinking that what is it your customer is coming to your page for, and give him that, that information upfront. Yeah, so the average time, by the way, I also want to tell you this, that the average time people spend on a website is less than 3 minutes. So if you don't catch his attention within that 3 minutes, you have lost him. Hence, many times clients ask us, why is the bounce rate so high? It's because if the content is not interesting enough, he's not going to stick around. And guess where is he going to go? If he needs to buy it, he's going to go to your competitor, right? So this is very, very crucial that you take care of all these things. So the pro tip here is putting information up front makes a lot of sense. So try to avoid layered communication. Even I'm also basically a creative person, so I would like some clever layered lines. But trust me, for a lot of things, it's better that you put it up front directly there. So I'm also going to show you a few examples of responsive websites for you to understand what it is. So this is a very responsive website. This is clean. See, look, try to keep it clean as possible, and try to have the, whatever copy is there, it's visible. Okay, so what I'd like to tell you is try to do it in blocks. Normally when you're doing a website, a mobile first website, you have to visualize it in blocks, right? So you can see it. It's block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. And when you're doing the same thing on, let's say, a desktop, the design changes accordingly. Okay, so you may have to do it. I mean, there are tools now, of course, where you can do it seamlessly. So this is another example. So it's all very clear, absolutely upfront. You can, if the customer wants to know what's this all about, he gets to know everything in one shot. Yeah. And these are some examples I also have to give you of non-responsive websites. Look, this is a completely non-responsive website. Now see, this is on a mobile. We've deliberately shown it to you on a mobile. Can you read anything? You can read nothing. You can't see anything. So this is an investment you have to make. Now they have kind of made it mobile compatible, but this is meant primarily for the desktop. And honestly speaking, this website has been done, I think, a decade ago. So so you have to just check your own websites first, whether it's in this state or you have designed it for 2020. So these are all the platforms for visibility. See, I mean, there are many, many platforms. I just want to talk about these right now for B2B. So LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram for business. So Twitter, I want to tell you, this is meant for people who are predominantly doing business overseas. You have to look at Twitter, because every CMO, every CTO, every chief marketing technology officer out there is on Twitter. So it is a great idea for you to be on LinkedIn as Twitter, especially if you are serving overseas markets. Yeah. And that's the order for B2B. So LinkedIn, of course, for B2B is an invaluable tool, because everybody is on LinkedIn. I mean, they have to be there today if you're going to be in business. You can build your audience over a period of time organically as well. Let's say if you don't have a very big budget for marketing, you can't afford an agency, and you can't afford differentiated content, then you can look at building your audience organically, and you can do it over a period of time. And the main attraction in all channels is the content, is the value of the content. So, don't just give inane content. Like, for example, I want to give you, so these are some examples, how it will look. Yeah, these are all LinkedIn websites and how you, LinkedIn pages. So this is one particular thing I want to tell you, that a lot of companies will say, let's put a lot of pictures of the MD receiving awards or the achievements of the MD. Look, I mean, you can intersperse MD pictures and achievements along the way, but don't just flood it with only the company achievements. Okay, talk about, have real value, what the audience wants to read. When you give them value, then they'll also want to see your achievements. I mean, this is very, very important. Like, what does your audience want to see? They want to see happenings in the industry. They want to see future trends, debates on ongoing policies, perhaps anything which will benefit them. How, I mean, they can enhance their knowledge. So give them that and intersperse that with all these awards and various other things. Yeah. This is important. So some good content pegs will read like this. Thought leadership articles. See, these are some things, if you want, you can take a screenshot. Thought leadership articles. So for example, if your managing director is your thought leadership, or your vice president marketing is a thought leader on his own, he goes and talks on various industry panels, and he has some original things to say. He himself can write some of these articles, right? Text to video on trends. Now, this is very important, because if there's a very long article, people nowadays don't want to read such long articles. So what you can do is you can convert that into a video. So the main key points can be there, so audience can have nice takeaways from that. Yeah, orders one could be definitely one content peg. Case studies on how your product has helped other business. So when you write a case study, also keep it short, but keep it how it has actually benefited and what was the key differentiator. Webinars or podcasts on subjects of value. This is great. Like, see, in a lockdown, how many webinars have happened? How many podcasts have happened? And we've all listened to something or the other and educated ourselves because we've had the time as well. So, and some things, some fun stuff, like some posts on trending topics. It could not only be fun stuff, but it could also be like government's announcements. In industry, especially, people would like to see all your vendors, your suppliers, etc. They would like to see what are the trending topics. And then some ironies of live videos of the factory, etc., processes, culture. These are all things what you can do. Online PR is also a very, very effective tool. So other than offline PR, you can also look at some articles which you can write on orders one, or the company process, or the culture, the new product, etc. And you can also do a online PR burst, which will all help you in SEO. So all this content, which will help your customer also discover you, and we'll come to that, how content helps to make it a discoverable content for you. See, this is another tip I want to give you. This is a pro tip, is that most companies, what they do is they mirror content across channels. So I would say that pick your platform wisely. Don't just do a checklist that, I have to be on Facebook, I have to be on Instagram for business, I've got to be here, I've got to be there. Just in Zibek, we believe in some things called hero platforms. So just 2 hero platforms where you can have very good original content, and then you can look at the other 2, like, Facebook, etc., if you want, for mirroring of content. Yeah. But if you're going to use Facebook, use it in a different way. I'll explain it to you how you can use it. So basically, less platforms, more content, more differentiated content makes more sense, because each platform has different kinds of behavior. Audience behavior is different on different platforms, as you already know, because I'm sure all of you are on, I'm sure the audience here is on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So you'll know that when you yourself post, the stuff you post, like let's say you put a holiday picture or you baked a cake, Are you going to put it on LinkedIn? No, you're going to put other professional stuff on LinkedIn. Even your picture on LinkedIn will be different, from Instagram, right? So like I said, for B2B, I'd recommend LinkedIn, Twitter, along with the YouTube channel. I've already explained why. Twitter in particular, if you're serving international markets, I've explained it. Instagram for business is still at a nascent stage. We can explore it down the line. So I'm not going to spend time on that right now. So pro tip here is specific content for specific platforms should be your go-to social strategy. So now we go to secret 2, be in the consideration set. Like I said, when your customer is searching for you, he needs to know that you are out there providing that service. If you are visible on digital platforms, you can be in the consideration set. A typical search goes like this. For example, let's say you're looking for gensets. So I may not know the exact text what I'm looking for. So I'm going to show you a quick video how the search will work. So this is searching for engine manufacturing companies in India. And see how it comes up. Okay. So this is a back end. This is the analytics. So you will not see that. But if you saw the first thing, all the local companies came first. Yeah. So it's very important that you list on Google business page. Yeah. So because every company must invest in at least 20 keywords. So minimum 20 keywords, which are relevant keywords, which is your industry keywords, so that you're visible to people when they're searching for you. Local business comes up first, like I showed you already. So ensure your branch offices, dealers are listed. So these are all pro tips, guys, if you're not doing it already. And are my keywords relevant? So many times, people say that it's like hashtag. You just decide that I'll create this hashtag. But if nobody's going to search on that, I mean, there's a particular behavior. If you're searching for gensets, and there's a way you're going to search for gensets. If you're going to search for, let's say, pumps, there's a way to search for that. Yeah. If you're searching for a particular IT company, which is doing some kind of a service or has a product, there is a way to search for it. So please ensure that those particular industry keywords are used. So here you need to do design thinking, which means walk in the shoes of your customer, how he or she is going to think. So typically, what does a consumer do? A customer will do, he'll search and he'll land on your website or a microsite, and he'll fill a lead gen form if the inquiry is serious. So when he comes to your website, ensure that the information he's seeking is upfront. Again, this is the third time I'm repeating it, so please do that. Ideally, this is another pro tip, is have a FAQ or a buying guide where you can guide him on how to buy your product. See, this all creates thought leadership, how to buy. Like even if you're a jewelry guy, like I know one of my friends is here, teach people how he can buy jewelry, how to buy diamonds. It's a very good way. This way you are building trust in your customer. When you educate your customer on how to buy something, you are building trust. And isn't a brand all about trust? Secret 3, engaging content. So it's all about content. You may be present in all platforms, but how good and relevant is your content? So one of my biggest tips today is invest in great content. I mean, this is where like an agency who's going to give you very good content is going to be expensive. It's not going to come cheap. Content has to be either informative, educative, interesting. See, for example, even we as consumers on the net, we go to the net primarily for 2 reasons. One is for information, which means education. 2 is for entertainment. I mean, maybe we may read some gossip, we may read something about some politician. I mean, politics is also interesting and can be entertaining. So look at ourselves also as consumers. So your consumer is no different from you. So ensure that your content is good enough for your TG, that's a target group, to come back again and again on your page. Yeah. So the content may be fantastic, but if there is zero reach, algorithms of most platforms are designed in such a way that you've got to put money in order to make your content visible. So one of the things you can do is put hashtags, especially on LinkedIn. It still works well. On Facebook, it doesn't work anymore because Facebook does not serve beyond a particular point. Even if you have 1 lakh customers, Facebook serves it to less than 1%. Yeah. So what do I mean by intelligent hashtags? Like, so for example, on LinkedIn will prompt you on the, like if you're talking about, let's say, marketing technology. So LinkedIn will prompt you that if you by mistake type it as market technology, there won't be a hashtag called market technology. It will be marketing technology. So it'll be very easy for you to, it's prompting you. So I'm saying that you all experiment on your own, understand a little bit more before you go full-fledged into it. So videos work if they're informative and cover the topics. But again, I'd like to give you some advice here that if you don't have a budget, I would ask you not to have long videos which are very badly produced, because good videos take money to produce. So what I'd like to tell you is that keep it short, keep it even 10-second, 30-second videos, which will give you the information, which you can use some stock images. But if you're going to have long videos, please ensure there are decent production values. Otherwise, nobody's going to see your videos and it's a complete waste of money, because you also need money to reach out to your audience, like I said. So influence, the other pro tip I want to give you here is that influencers in your industry, like I said, there may be influencers like consultants who can come on your page and you can do a couple of videos with them, or your managing director or somebody, ops guy could be an influencer. Like I said, if he's on industry panels, you can use him to make some videos, write some content, because people obviously are going to listen from an influencer. Yeah, so that works very well. Secret 4 is newsworthiness of what you do. Since I have somebody from Times, you'll be very happy because I've got a couple of slides from Economic Times. Although you're from Times Internet, I think. So if your news is not worthy, make it. So what do I mean by that? An interesting headline makes it very, very newsworthy. For example, let's look at COVID itself. See, COVID is a virus. The minute you call it lethal, it becomes a very, very interesting, scary headline, right? So more than the virus itself, all of us are petrified of the virus. Why? Because the media has made it into such a big deal. I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I'm just saying it just is a much bigger deal than what it is. So now let's see, but here today our webinar is not about COVID at all. It's about how we can use news positively. I was just trying to make a point. Now look at this. Economic Times is an e-paper. This is a very interesting headline. Look at this. India was on the path to economic recovery. Local lockdowns threw a spanner in the works. See how interestingly it's put. So this all I'm going to run through quickly. This is another thing. A headline speaks more than 1,000 words. Yeah, this is a property, like back to business. You can create your own properties on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on whichever channel you're going to use. So when we say a property, like back to business could be a property. You can have it, back to manufacturing, for example, or back to factory or back to office. And then you can have a whole bunch of content buckets around this back to business. So create properties which are unique to your page. This, and then what happens is that there's a stickiness because your readers want to know more what's coming up in this content bucket. So use this effectively. Another thing what I want to say is personal achievements of employees also can be used very interestingly even in whatever industry you're in. Like, for example, let's say somebody ran the 21-mile marathon. Put it up there, all the practice, what he's done, etc. This showcases company culture. What we did in Zibek, we did a very interesting thing. One of our employees, he was in the art department, he helped rescue a child. She was lost in the bus stand. So we put this up on all our channels, and believe me, we got the maximum traction for this. All this showcases company culture and it creates goodwill. So nothing is taboo in content. Yeah, it just make it interesting. Like I said, engaging, interesting, educative. Show your company in positive light. So what is the meaning of newsworthiness? So newsworthiness for us in businesses, make it positive, make your company culture stand out. Yeah, so people want to do business with likable people, right? Build up this also builds up excitement for product launches and you can celebrate milestones in this way. Social is finally all about creating fans for your company or brand. So pro tip here is, like I said, images and videos, very good. Less words is more. Unless you have a fabulous voiceover, then it's fine. So you can have a lot of stuff. Other than that, keep the words less and let the picture speak 1,000 words. Let the video speak 1,000 words. So with that, we come to secret 5, which is nurturing leads. So all this is fine. Now you're gathering all the leads. You're now being visible. You have a great website, great content, top performing posts. But guess what? You also need to know how are you going to handle all those inquiries. What if you don't have any, or even if you have, we've seen several companies, they have full-fledged sales force, but sometimes it so happens that leads get lost. Yeah. So an automated chatbot or a real chat operational at least for 8 hours. Of course, if you're serving international markets, it has to be 24 hours, but at least try to have either a real live chat with the guy sitting there, guy or girl sitting there, or have an automated chatbot for at least 8 hours is what we strongly recommend. So all queries are addressed and people feel good that, my query, even if you say that, okay, we'll get back to you in 4 hours or 8 hours, that's fine, but at least address that query. So these are some quick examples how a chatbot will work. This is how it looks. And this is a quick video. This is directly on the website, and you can, as you open the website, the chat starts. So you can straight away start asking and chatting, which gives you a very good experience for the end user. And this you can do in any industry. So we are saying that you also need a system to capture leads, manage and respond to them. So we have Help, which of course delivers revenue, and we call it result-oriented marketing. You won't lose a single lead. The minute you set up your digital marketing as an investment, Think of an LMS and CRM tool as a must, because along with the person, and also you need a person who will own up to this entire process of not only capturing the lead, but managing the lead and taking it to the end result, which is hopefully a sale. So this is how I'm just going to spend 30 seconds on it, that this is how a Helm dashboard looks. And this is what you need: new leads, open leads, qualified leads, today's task. So it maps your entire customer's journey. And this is a must, guys, before you go ahead with any serious digital marketing. I mean, if you're just doing a couple of posts on Facebook here and there, then you don't need all this. But if you're seriously going to spend money, and this is going to be your principal way to get new business in post-COVID times, you need a LMS and you need a CRM, so that customer queries are addressed and you know exactly where the lead has come from, where is it going, what is culminated in a sale. Because digital is all about measurement. And I'm going to give you a very good tip here, that is run a pilot for at least 45 days. Even if the temptation for anybody to just start immediately, because everybody gets excited when a good presentation comes your way, but run a pilot for at least 45 days before you spend the big bucks. This way you can map your audience properly. You can see what are the properties which are working, what are the keywords which are working, what's not working, and that's fine. And a pilot is meant for that. So success and failure, and run with the success and dump the failure. Close the sales loop. That's secret 6. So now the sales, now let's think of all the good things. So the leads are all collected, the funnel is full. Let the sales guys take over now. But you'll be getting leads from multiple sources. And obviously, by and large, the maximum lead source would be from digital. You'd also be doing some other things like, from a webinar, or from multiple places. You may be getting even from emailers, or your industry may be, 20 years in the business. So you're going to get a lot of referrals. But once you start serious digital marketing, most of your leads are going to come from there. So what's going to happen is some of the leads are going to be junk or unqualified leads. So this is a must. I mean, even if, people who are advertising in the print media, or they were advertising on television, it's not that everybody who watches a serial and where your ad was posted is going to be your customer, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of wastage as well. So here, unfortunately, it happens, especially in Facebook, etc., that sometimes, it's just by, it's like even it's very sensitive, the touch screen. So it may so happen that it's a lead is collected, or it could be a bot. So it's a possibility that junk leads do come in. But as you progress in your digital marketing and become more sophisticated, we can set in more filters and you can reduce it to a large extent. And I am a very firm believer that quality is better than quantity. Don't just run after 1,000 and 10,000 leads unless you are in specific businesses. Like, if you're in financial services, in B2B and in most businesses, you cannot, I mean, if you get 1,000 leads, you cannot handle it unless you have a call center of around 50 people, right? So, and if you're focusing on quality over quantity, obviously your lead cost will go up. But at the end of the day, you're spending money for what? To get business, right? You're not spending money just to get leads. So be clear on the end result, that you are finally spending all this money on digital marketing to get business and not just leads. So let's view the investment as a method to convert leads to sales rather than just being a lead collecting machine. This is something which, because people think digital marketing means 1,000 leads. Think business instead of just thinking leads. And then I come to my last secret of the day, that is measure. So we all know that digital marketing is all about measurement. And this is, of course, going to warm every entrepreneur's heart, that every rupee of mine is going to be measured. Google, content network, social performance, everything can be measured. Who clicked, how many clicks, how many views, how many bought, CPL, CPM, CTW, that's click to website, are all very transparent and can be calculated with analytics. So please ensure that you have your analytics. That's a pro tip for slide 7, for the secret 7, is that ensure that your analytics is completely in place before starting a campaign so that you can measure optimally. And I want to spend a little time on this, that guys, people think that digital marketing means, like, again, I said, it's not just about performance and leads. It's also about branding. Try to build a brand digitally. Try to build a digital brand. Whatever, even if your entire business is offline, you have to have some kind of a fulfillment which can go online. My next webinar is going to be about that. It's about taking family business online. But right now, please focus. Don't just think of leads and performance. That's fantastic. But think of brand. At the end of the day, you have to build a brand. Because when you build a brand, let me tell you, you will have better performance for your digital marketing as compared to spending a whole bunch of money just on performance marketing. So take trouble to build a brand. So build a brand means tell your story, tell your brand story. I mean, I'm sure all you guys in business see an entrepreneur is a creative person. I mean, he may not think he's creative, but the fact that he's creating something out of thin air by and large, right? I mean, he's creating a business. That's why it's an enterprise. So think branding and performance always, at least where I'm concerned. And it may be difficult to measure, like the money which is spent on branding, as this will yield results only over a period of time. Because cost per customer is measurable, but only pushing leads cannot be your core strategy. So remember, one of my key takeaways is branding plus performance is equal to a successful digital brand and a successful business. So in a nutshell, the 7 secrets on digital marketing is: be visible, be in consideration set when your customer wants to buy, have engaging content, which means you have to invest in content. It's not just about pushing leads. Ensure, and how are you going to create all this engaging content? Ensure newsworthiness of all what you do in the company. I think there are hundreds of stories in your company. Hundreds of employees will have so many interesting things to say. Let your digital partners sit with them and understand what could be the company, what is the company culture if it's not clear, and tell those stories. People want to hear stories. I mean, I as a customer, I want to buy from a brand which can tell stories in a very interesting way. Finally, all this is fine, branding and all, of course, you have to nurture the leads, close the sales loop, and measure. So these are the 7 secrets of digital marketing. And as a bonus giveaway, I would like you to fill up a Google feedback form, which you are going to get right now. You can see it on your chat. So you can go to chat and fill up, or if you don't want to fill it up right now, you can do it after an hour or even by evening. And the first 5 guys who are going to fill up the Google feedback form is going to get my second book, which is coming out in November. And you will be the first 5 who are going to get that book, called No Holy Cows in Branding and Digital Marketing. Our first book was No Holy Cows in Business. And you'll be invited for the book launch. So I'm going to take questions. To know more about us, you can visit our website, zebekindia.com, or write to us at anilbhatt@zebekindia.com, radhika@zebekindia.com, kiranbhatt@zebekindia.com. Yeah, so I think we are done here. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We really appreciate you taking your time off on a Tuesday afternoon to join us, and keep looking for our fresh updates for new webinars on interesting topics. Thank you so much.